Hey guys, it is Citra here again with another Runecraft Advanced tutorial, and little pretext, we are in Weaver City on the Weaver server, and anyone who's been on a Runecraft server which has a sort of central hub will have seen large grids of these teleporters overlapped before, and they are pretty much a staple of Runecraft, and they were even the first video I made a tutorial about. Today I plan to take this technology a little step further. We can see here that there are 10 times 10, so there are 100 teleports here, and that's quite a lot. I'm going to see if I can compress that and get about 70 or so into my Faith Islands on Faith Fortress. And here we are back on my server. First off for this I am going to use spleef blocks, lots and lots of spleef blocks. Why, you ask? Well, it will become clear. We are in a blank sphere that I've made that's going to be part of Faith Fortress, but this is an advanced tutorial so I can use creative mode. The principle of this is fairly simple. It is exactly the same as standard teleport overlapping. The only difference is that we have added a dimension on, and we're going to make it 3D teleport overlapping. More compressed than the Runix cube overlap concept, rather than having 6 in a single cube without any in the middle. It's going to be a bit more intense than that. The reason I am using spleef blocks is purely because that will allow for easy access to the sort of innards without having to smash a lot of obsidian, and they can readily be toggled on and off just with a fist and then with a lock block. Extremely useful. I plan to make this grid a total of 9 by 9 by 7, I think, is what I was going for. That would allow it to fit in without being too obtuse. And now with that we can just trim off a layer and get to any of the teleport locations, any of the individual ones that we need. Now I haven't analysed how much obsidian would be saved, comparatively speaking, but I imagine it would be not inconsiderable. The question really is only whether it would be more or less than a 2D overlapping grid. This is why spleef blocks, for easy maintenance access. The safest way to do it is just to build this up layer by layer. If I weren't doing this in the tutorial, what I would actually recommend would be to start off with just say a couple of teleports to the destinations you already know, and really just to sort of expand upon the grid of spleef blocks as time goes on, because it really is a highly extensible system. But because I'm building this in a Faith Island, I'm going to want it built within specific. Much better. I quickly edited my default texture pack, the one that I use when I'm making things which are a bit hard to see in terms of textures, to give obsidian a green outline. I also have these solid red glass blocks for when I was building the hemisphere on my tier 7 Faith Island. Okay, so now let's check there are blocks in all the right places. Get rid of one layer, and that looks good. Just trim away a layer at a time. As long as all the blocks are here, then we have the first half of this operation complete. The second then is automation, because as you can see it's going to be extremely difficult to sort of get at some of these. We will have a unique automation signature for each of the teleports, and then we will have a damage sensor tuned to each one. Normally a sign would be placed upon the damage sensor, or even the sign would be the damage sensor, but as Faith Islands can't move signs yet, then we still have the problem wherein we can't really label our teleports. So simple solution for that would be, I think I'll make the damage sensors out of a block that is relevant to the destination. Okay, one server crash later, let's resume our test to make sure all these blocks are here, and well, as long as they're there it doesn't really matter if they're spleef blocks or not. Okay, next step is the automation. So I'll need to work out a system of enumerating all of these and then making it difficult to, basically to ensure there won't be any overlap from other people's signatures, so avoiding the common ones. Could do it with 3 wool blocks and a unique block at the top or to the south or some such. Right, so let's get started. Obsidian north, put that right there, and 1, 2, 3, or either 1, 2, 3, we'll do it that way. Speed block. and a tool for using them with. Okay, so we'll activate it with this one, and we will need to get down and activate the bottom one. So again, I'm going to trim out all of these except for the bottom layer. This is one of the side benefits of making these videos, is that whenever I forget a signature, or whenever I can't remember how I did something, and it's on something that I've done a tutorial video for, then odds on I can just go back and watch my own video and remember how I did something, because I am a scatterbrain usually. Another useful advantage to doing this sort of as you go, as opposed to in a bulk series of automations like I'm doing it now, is that if you don't have enough gold for the full system to automate it, then you can come back and do it in the future, which is definitely a time-saving device. Because it would be simple if I say I couldn't finish more than the first 4 or 5, I'd code them all up, I would automate them and build their damage sensors. That was 4, need 5. Is that right? Yes. I would code all of those up, and then I would just come back and add more in as the time goes on. But say if you're wanting like a big block done in advance, like say if you were having a big TP grid done in this way, then that would be my suggestion, to get all the automations at least done in advance, come back and sort that out later. Okie dokie, so that is 9 teleports automated, all with their own signature. Now I'm going to do these ones, the ones that are on this facing, as opposed to the ones that are horizontal. And that is part of the reason why this is so difficult to use manually, is because you have to fit in all the places, and you won't be able to fly on every server. Only 6 here, and they are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So, gold, 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 obsidian north, orange east, and then I need white, white. Place, knock apart, gold, 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 gold. So now would of course be the time that my sound decides to bug and I lose all audio at this point, so now I have to work out what I was thinking when I filmed this. At this point we're doing the damage sensors, and I have worked out a way of making it faster using a mixture of voxel, sniper and bucket. But the principle is pretty much the same. I've got up above, I've got the tier blocks already in position. All I need to do is lay down the template, activate it, and as soon as the tier blocks vanish, I know that that one's enchanted. I have a series of woolen blocks here, so I can just grab the data that I need, or use the pick block feature. Like here, I'm just sniping that color to yellow, because that's the next one in the sequence. I've also already done a layer of damage sensors already, a row above, and the reason I chose to use damage sensors to control this rather than before, where I have a series of buttons to control which one I'm pointing to, was that this was actually far more efficient in terms of resources. Was to have just a single damage sensor for each destination, and that avoided configuration. It was just a case of just activating it and away I go. The reason that they're in the color they are is it's to do with which the third woolen block was in the signature. It was literally just to help me remember. When I encode these all and come up with a way of, or have somewhere for them all to go, then it will be, then it will be much simpler for me to just piston out the block that I don't want and put in a different block which has a more meaningful or descriptive pattern or skin to it. So that's more or less what continues here. So that's pretty much that done. Huge amount of damage sensors, which I can't hit whilst in creative mode. Some of them already have destinations already keyed in, but most of them don't, and that is a D63. I did the math in the end, and yeah, fully maintainable via the spleef blocks. not exactly a new concept, but a new application of a very old concept, a very familiar concept. So I hope this is useful to all you space hungry but travel hungry people as well, and I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry about the loss of the original audio, but I hope I managed to cover all the important parts. Any comments below, subscribe if you thought this was good, like and favourite, etc, etc, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.